Hey, this is Jennifer, and I have elected to speak to negligence and fraud in Tennessee. So, the first question I will be answering is: in Tennessee, what are the elements of a cause of action for negligence? You can see I am already in the Westlaw, on the Westlaw website. I have chosen Tennessee as the database I want to look at. And when I type in elements of negligence, or start typing it, it automatically comes up because I'm sure this is such a it's searched often. What are the elements of negligence? And it refers specifically to Tennessee. So when I click on that, it will load this first case, which is Giggers versus Memphis Housing Authority, and this is a Tennessee Supreme Court case, so it is a state case, not a federal case. It was heard at Jackson. It is reported in the third edition of the Southwestern Reporter, volume 277, at page 388. It was heard in Nashville, and if we scroll down through the case, I won't go through all the facts and all of that kind of stuff, but we should be able, we get the history and we get the facts, but we should find, and hopefully it's going to be highlighted for us, yes, the applicable law in negligence suits. So, if I can get a highlighter, I never can get that silly thing to work. So, anyway, in order to establish a prima facie claim of negligence, then we must have the following essential elements. One is a duty of care. There must be a duty of care owed by the defendant to the plaintiff. Two, the conduct must be below the applicable standard of care so that it amounts to a breach of that duty. There must be an injury or loss, a cause in fact, and it must be a proximate or legal cause. So we have to satisfy all of these elements in order to to successfully argue a case for negligence in Tennessee. And then my second topic, so my second sentence is: in Tennessee, what are the elements of a cause of action for fraud? So elements of fraud in Tennessee. Again, I'm in the Tennessee database. I just brought up a different website. So if we look at Doghouse Investments, LLC, or Limited Liability Company versus Teal Properties, Inc., and others, et al. This also was denied to be heard by the Supreme Court for an appeal, but it was heard in the Court of Appeals for Tennessee. So again, a state case. It was heard at Nashville. It's reported in the Southwestern Reporter, third edition, volume 448, at page 905. Then if we come down through the case, into the opinion, we should be able to find where the court define the elements necessary to rise to the level of fraud. Now finding those is, I don't think they're, if I remember, I don't think they're highlighted in this case, so this may take me a minute. Corporate veil, we got to get past. So I know it's in here because I did look it up, and I should have. Hold on. Get back past ambiguity. Okay, here it is. Here it is. So actions for fraud contain four primary elements. Sorry it took me so long. So as you can see here, the actions for fraud or are intentional misrepresentations. Of course, now I get the highlighter. Intentional misrepresentation of a material fact, knowledge that the representation was false, that the representation was made knowingly or recklessly or without belief or regard for its truth. Third, that there was reasonable reliance on the misrepresentation by the plaintiff and resulting damages, so there had to be some damages, and that the misrepresentation relates to an existing or past fact. So it takes all of those elements to successfully argue a case for fraud. So thank you for listening. Hope you have a good rest of the weekend.